Hello students, welcome to EduBlossom. Before starting with today's topic, let's have a look at this picture first. What is visible here in this picture? We can see a plate having so many ingredients like sabzi is there, made up of vegetables, eggs are visible, then pulses or dal is there, curd is there, which is also known as yogurt, and chapati is there, or rice is there, jaggery is there, salad is there, and then a glass full of buttermilk is also visible here. Similarly, we can see different kinds of fruits, watermelon, grapes, then breads and rice and beans and pulses and pineapple and banana and peach and custard apple and bottle gourd and tomatoes and lady fingers and then brinjal and beetroots, apples, grapes, cherries, so many things are visible here. Looking at this picture, what does come to your mind? One word which comes to your mind looking at this picture. Isn't it food? Yes, it is about food. So our today's topic is about food. So let's start with a chapter from class 6. What is the name of the chapter? Food. Where does it come from? And now we are going to start with part 1 of this chapter. So the first question rises here. What is food? Very interesting and mouth-watering question, isn't it? So what is food? Meals we eat, whether we eat it in breakfast or lunch or dinner. So whatever we eat, that is our food. But why do we eat food? Because it is essential for all living organisms, all living beings, not only human beings, all the plants, all the animals, or the microorganisms. Every living organism needs food. And food gives us energy. And because of the energy, we do our work. And food is required for growth and repair of our body. Think about yourself a few years back. What was your height then? And what is your height now? That is because of the growth. Your body is growing. That is also because of the food. Similarly, food is essential for metabolism or all life processes which occur inside our body or inside our cells. That is known as metabolism, and food is essential for the metabolic activities. Similarly, food helps to protect us from various diseases because it helps in making our immune system strong. Thus, it protects us from various diseases and it helps to keep us fit. So, food is really very, very important. It is not only important for our physical well-being, rather it is required for our mental and social well-being also. Think of a situation when your mood is not good and you are offered with some chocolates or with some ice creams or some other kind of your favorite food. What happens? Your mood gets better. So this way, food influences your physical as well as mental health also. So food is really, really important for all of us. Let's discuss about plants now. How do plants get their food? Plants make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. So what is photosynthesis? It is a process by which plants make their own food. What happens? Here in the green parts of the plant, a pigment is present which is known as chlorophyll. And from the soil, with the help of the roots, plants absorb water. So from the soil, through roots, water also reaches into the leaves or green parts of the plant. And carbon dioxide is also taken from the atmosphere. So what happens? Here in the green parts of the plant or in the leaves, carbon dioxide and water are used in the presence of chlorophyll pigment or green pigment and sunlight. And then the food is made in the form of glucose molecules, and this process is known as photosynthesis. In other words, we can say that Photosynthesis is a process by which plants synthesize their own food by using carbon dioxide and water in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. So, photosynthesis is the main process by which food is synthesized by the plants. And the ultimate source of energy on this earth is sunlight. And only plants can trap this solar energy or sunlight and make food. So, plants are known as producers because plants produce food by trapping the solar energy. So, this mode of nutrition is known as autotrophic mode of nutrition. So, plants are also known as autotrophs. Auto means self, troph means nutrition, intake of food. So when organisms make their own food, that is known as autotrophic mode of nutrition. So plants are also known as autotrophs. And all animals depend upon plants for their food, either directly or indirectly. What does it mean? Don't worry, we are going to discuss this also in the next slide. All animals depend upon plants for food, either directly or indirectly. How directly? If some animal is directly feeding on plants, then it is directly depending upon plants. But if some animal is eating some other animal and that other animal is feeding on the plants, then indirectly the animal is dependent upon the plants for food. In our next slide, we are going to discuss this difference in detail. So, one thing we can say that animals cannot produce food. Animals can only consume food. That's why animals are known as consumers. Plants produce food. That's why plants are known as producers. Animals only consume food. That's why animals are known as consumers. And the mode of nutrition in animals is known as heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So animals are also known as heterotrophs because they depend upon other organisms for food. Now let's discuss what do animals eat. Depending upon the food of animals, we can categorize animals into three categories. First category of animals is herbivores. These are those animals which feed on plants. So they eat plants or plant products. For example, cow, buffalo, goat, sheep, horse, donkey, all these animals, they feed on plants and plant products. So these are known as herbivores. The second category is carnivores. That means those animals which eat other animals. So such animals do not feed on plants or plant products. Rather, they feed on other animals. For example, lion, tiger, leopard, jaguar, cheetah, all these animals are carnivores. And the third category is omnivores. This category includes those animals which feed on both plants and animals. First example is human beings. We eat plants as well as animal products. So we are omnivores. Similarly, pig, bear, dog, cat, and so many other animals which feed on plants as well as on animals. So such animals are known as omnivores. Let's discuss about food from plants. As we have discussed about the herbivores animals in our last slide. Cows, buffaloes, horses, sheep, all these animals, they feed directly on the plants like on grasses or on the fodder plants. But human beings are very choosy. We take specific parts of the plants as food. What are various examples of food items which we take from the plants? Let's start with cereal grains. Wheat, rice, maize, millets, sorghum. You might have heard about all these things. We can grind these grains to make a very fine powder which is known as flour, and this flour is used to make the chapatis or to make the pancakes. So this way cereals and grains are very important ingredients of our food. Similarly, various kinds of pulses like green gram, black gram, kidney beans, soyabean, grams, chickpeas, lentils, and so many other pulses. We eat roots of some plants also, like in case of radish, carrot, and turnip, plant roots are used as food. Then we eat leaves also. For example, in case of spinach, mustard, fenugreek, coriander leaves, in all these plants, we use plant leaves. Similarly, we get various kinds of vegetables from the plants. For example, potato. Potato is actually the stem tuber. So it is part of the stem, but it grows underground. Similarly, cabbage, cauliflower, ladyfinger, brinjal, tomatoes, bitter gourd, bottle gourd, jackfruit, capsicum, peas, and so many other vegetables we get from plants. And very tasty fruits like mango, banana, orange, melon, watermelon, kiwi, lychee, plums, dragon fruit, berries, cherries, papaya, pineapple. Very tasty fruits we get from plants. And oils. We add oils also when we cook our foods. So different kinds of oils are obtained from different kinds of plants, like mustard oil from mustard plant, sesame oil, sunflower oil, groundnut oil, coconut oil, olive oil, canola oil. Similarly, we add different kinds of spices in our food like cumin, black pepper, cardamom, chilies, cloves, and so many other spices are used. So all these different kinds of foods we get from plants. So plants are really great. They give us a variety of food items. Now let's discuss about the food items which we get from animals like milk. So the animals which give us milk are known as milch animals. Cows and buffaloes are very common milch animals. Other than these two animals, goats, camels also give us milk. Similarly, we get eggs from the animals, and the animals which give us eggs are known as poultry birds or poultry animals. For example, hens, ducks, fowls, etc. Hen eggs are very common. And then meat. So different animals are consumed as meat also. For example, fish, goat, sheep, pig, chicken. And in the coastal areas, people eat prawns, crabs, shrimps also. Similarly, a very tasty food which is known as honey is obtained from animals. So honeybees make honey in their beehives, and from their beehives we take out honey. So honey is a very tasty and nutritional food. So this way we can say that we get a variety of food items from animals also. Let's discuss about food and its components now. So the components of the food are known as nutrients. Intake of food is known as nutrition, and components of the food are known as nutrients. And these nutrients are again divided into different categories like energy giving foods. So carbohydrates and fats. These are energy giving foods because basically we get energy from carbohydrates and fats. Similarly, bodybuilding foods. Proteins help in the growth, repair, and maintenance of our body. So that's why proteins are known as bodybuilding foods. Then, vitamins and minerals help to protect us from various diseases. So these are known as protective foods. Similarly, roughage. We get dietary fibers from the roughage. This dietary fiber is required for our healthy gut. So that is also very important. Similarly, water. Though we don't get any energy from water, but even then water is a very important component of our food. In the next part of this chapter, we are going to discuss in detail about all these terms like carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins and minerals. So this is all about first part of this chapter, food. Where does it come from? In the next video of this chapter, we are going to discuss about carbohydrates, fats, proteins, all in detail. So see you all in the next video. Thank you so much.